Hello, I'm Carter Lash of AHS-TV, and in this episode of Best of the Nest, we will take a closer look at the school climate at AHS. Before we get into it, our own Lily Talladay sat down with Mr. Lorigan, one of our building principals, to get his view on the matter. Let's take a closer look.
Hi, I'm Lily Talladay of AHS-TV, and today we're taking a closer look at how the school environment has improved over the last 5 to 6 years here at AHS. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Lorigan.
Glad to be here, Lily. Thank you.
Of course. We'll start with, do you think AHS has improved over the last 5 to 6 years, like in terms of behavior, school climate, stuff like that?
I mean, I certainly like to think so. There's been a lot of things that we've done here in the last 5 or 6 years with the implementation of some things that we're going to talk about throughout the course of this today, our PBIS, as well as the core values, that I think have been beneficial to the school. And I think we have some documentation and data to really back that up in terms of our student surveys that we get every year that has shown that there's been a positive change in how kids feel about coming here.
Absolutely. So what were some of the actions taken to improve the school over the years?
And actually, based on the data, as I talked about, the student surveys that are completed, we review that. We look at the areas where students feel that the school is unsafe or feel that the students, think that things could be better. And Mr. Commodus, Mr. Toy, and I sit down together and we talk about those things, and we work with the teaching staff to talk about what areas we can improve. And one of the things was the core values. That we implemented a core value every month, as well as putting some things in for PBIS to talk to students about rewarding their positive behaviors, and really putting a focus more on the positive than the negatives. And we've also done some things with some student behaviors with our in-school suspension rooms and our students that do have some more frequent behaviors. In talking about, we assign them through either our SAP program or some of our behavior coaches, and we assign that to them, and they work with those students to try to make positive changes in their behavior and not necessarily always issue negative consequences, because ultimately changes in behavior is all we're looking for. It's not about how many days we can suspend somebody. It's about, consequences are about changing people's behaviors.
Expanding on core values, how do you think they've made a difference?
They make a difference because when we do have students in here for certain behaviors and certain disciplines or certain things that they've done, we refer back to those. Was that a safe thing to do? Was that a trustworthy behavior? Was that something that was responsible? As we work through those 8 core values, and we use them as reteaching tools, and talk to them about what would have been a responsible decision. So having them talk a little bit about what their behaviors were and how they could have avoided those and what decisions they could have made that would have been better, that would have maybe kept them out of the office. And that has shown us a decrease in the frequency of these behaviors.
Yes. How safe to say beneficial to our school environment?
I mean, safe to say it's what it is. I mean, the students can report, behaviors or things that they see that are unsafe, or that, maybe they're concerned about a peer, or they're concerned about something that may be happening at the school. So it's been very beneficial to us in terms of getting out ahead of issues that maybe we're unfamiliar with, that maybe Mr. Toy isn't aware of, Mr. Commodus, myself. It gives us an opportunity to look into things before it escalates, and it gives us an opportunity to address those situations before they become out of control.
Thinking individually, are underclassmen more mature now?
I think that I don't necessarily want to say less mature, but I think there are things that each group coming in does a little differently. I think that as we work through these processes and what we do as a staff, what we monitor, gets done a little differently. So some things that we may monitor more one year for a certain group, the next group comes in, we don't monitor that as much, and then we have to go back and reteach those expectations to the 8th grade group again. So I don't want to say that they're less mature. It's just some of the things that we focus on based on what we know about groups coming in, or based on the behaviors that particular class had before, is maybe what we need to review and reteach with those kids.
Okay. Regarding behavioral issues, what further steps need to be taken to regulate social media use?
Well, to be honest, if it were up to me, that we wouldn't even have phones, so we wouldn't have to worry about social media use in school. I think that at the end of the day, that's an issue that really, as a group of parents in my generation, because I have kids your age, maybe a little bit older, that we need to address as parents. But when it comes to the school, I just think that we need to make sure that we're continuing to review responsible use of social media and talk to kids about what the right decisions are in using their social media web pages and Instagram and Snapchat and all those things, and what it's really meant to be. You know, it's meant to be able to communicate with your friends in a different kind of way. It's not meant to be using it for bullying or using it to attack others, you know, from behind a keyboard or behind a phone. So until kids really learn what is really the positive uses of it, it's going to be very difficult for the school culture to change all that unless we just eliminate phones altogether.
Absolutely. How effective do you think PBIS was?
I mean, I think PBIS, there's so many layers to PBIS. You know, a lot of people just think, oh, the point system that we used in the past was PBIS. PBIS is beyond that. PBIS is a lot of things I talked about already with the core values and reteaching expectations and not always focusing on the negative parts of behaviors. So PBIS is incredibly effective. The data shows it across the country, the data shows it across the state, and the data shows it across the schools that PBIS is very effective. And it's more effective when implemented school-wide by everyone. So I think there's areas that we can improve in our PBIS. And I know, again, as I mentioned, a lot of people just thought, oh, PBIS is just that point system. But when kids know that doing things that they're supposed to do and maybe making some positive steps and you can get rewarded or even recognized, and PBIS is simply also just telling you did a good job today, maybe more than once. So it's so layered that I think that we misinterpret exactly what it is and think of it as this cumbersome tool as educators, but it really isn't. It's kind of the things we do every day, but just adding an additional focus to it. And I think that the PBIS program is incredibly effective, and I think that's why a lot of the things that have happened in the school have helped our school culture become more positive.
Expanding on that, what could it look like in the future?
You know, we continue to build, and again, like I said, it's what gets monitored gets done. So you're going to see a lot of us putting a bigger focus and emphasis again on our core values. That was something that we kind of got away from, and our data showed last year a dip in the areas of our core values because we didn't have our teachers focus on that, and that started with Mr. Cominus, myself, Mr. Toy, not maybe monitoring it as much as we should have. So you're going to see that in a different way, and you're going to see a lot of positive conversations with kids in different areas, like maybe not just always call them down to the office, but just walk down the hall with them and say, hey, I saw that this happened to you last night in a game, or I heard you really improved your grade in science, and having those conversations with them and having those teachers, our teachers and staff here as well, increase that type of communication with our student body.
How big of an issue do you feel COVID was in terms of school climate?
Well, I mean, obviously, coming back from COVID was difficult. I mean, that's when we came back from, you know, students being at home and not having to do the amount of structured work that we potentially had back then. And I think, first of all, I want to say I think we did a great job at AHS of getting out ahead of it because we knew what was coming, and we got our students the opportunity to learn from home. And I think our school was as good as any, really, at getting that particular difficult time, you know, getting through that difficult time. But yeah, COVID obviously had an impact. I mean, it had an impact on kids wanting to be back at school after you're home for 9 months or straight, because or 7 months straight, because even though it was only 3 months of school, you had another 3 months off. So you had 6 months where it was kind of your schedule, do what you guys want to do, and then you have to come back to the structured schedule. And then that next year was very cut up, and it was very, sometimes we were here, sometimes we weren't, then we were off. So anytime students or human beings really aren't sure of their structure and aren't sure of what their schedule is going to look like, it becomes more difficult. So getting back into that structure wasn't something that was going to take 2 weeks. It was going to take some time. So I think overall, though, now I think we're really kind of moving in the right direction, and we have everything trending in a positive way, and I think we're going to get really back to where we need to be here as time moves on in the near future.
I absolutely agree. Thinking about the student body, do you think that an increase in extracurricular activities has brought us together?
I mean, for sure. I mean, students that are involved in activities at school are less likely to have behaviors and are more likely to have higher levels of achievement because they have a purpose to want to be here. And I think one of the things that we've tried to really change here in the last few years of the school is student involvement in things beyond sports. And, I mean, if you look at our musical is fantastic. I mean, our musical is very inclusive. in all areas. You know, a lot of schools that focuses a lot around just the kids that are in the music program, where here you have kids from a variety of backgrounds, a variety of areas, a variety of involvement, and that's a huge part of culture, right? And the options that we have to do athletically and our different clubs, we have so many things here that kids can be involved in. And we're just trying to create opportunities for kids to have connections, because kids that connect with a school are at school, they're less truant, and all those things build up positive things, and then you can learn and you can show the academic growth that we're looking for you to show us.
Do you think students generally feel more welcomed at AHS now than in the past years?
I hope so. As I mentioned a little bit ago, I hope. I mean, you know, at the beginning of this whole process 11 years ago, it was really difficult to bring three schools together, because there were three different styles of leadership, three different styles of cultures, three different buildings, three different staffs with that. I mean, you know, and then three different student bodies. So there were a variety, and three different communities. While you're talking about it's one county, it was still three different communities. So I think there was still that feeling of separation a little bit at the beginning. And again, that kind of like COVID, after that all happened, that takes time to iron out all those wrinkles. So I think now this isn't anything different, except it's just Armstrong High School. Right? And this is what the student body knows. You know, you guys have maybe in like second or third grade, the seniors, whenever this school was open. So this is their school. Armstrong is what they were coming to. So I think the expectation of this is where I'm going to go to school helps with that feeling, and I hope that the different things that have been developed with the core values, school safety issues, and our culture have also helped everybody feel more welcome when they come here every day.
I absolutely agree. Going forward, what area do you think we as a school need to focus on for improvement?
I think now that things have moved on, we really need to focus on getting back to the academic importance of what we do. You know, at first we did truly believe that the culture needed to be addressed, because if students didn't want to be here, or if they didn't feel comfortable being here, we really couldn't hammer away at the academic. And we felt that our plan to get the culture, with building in the extracurriculars that we talked about, building in the school culture changes, that was very important to get kids to want to be here. So now that we feel that we're gaining some traction there, it's really now about increasing our academic rigor, attacking our areas of curriculum that we need to, so that we can really provide the great learning opportunities that the students deserve here at Armstrong High School.
It's a great answer. Thank you so much, Mr. Lorigan.
Thank you, Lily. I appreciate you having me on today.
Of course. Our own Brielle Fitnick took to the halls of AHS to see what the students had to say on the matter.
Do you enjoy coming to school?
Yeah, I think I enjoy coming to school. Some days you don't want to get up, but it's okay. You do it anyways.
Do you feel safe here at school?
Yeah, there's nothing to make me feel unsafe.
I do. I feel that there's some good things about it, like seeing all your friends and like the good teachers that you actually enjoy going to. But there also is some negatives, like if you don't enjoy the classes you have or the people.
Do you feel safe at school?
I mean, I do feel pretty safe. I mean, we do have metal detectors, security guards, so like that goes into effect, like not taking weapons or anything to school, like feeling protected.
So it depends on the day sometimes. I would say yes most of the time.
Do you think there are clubs and sports for everyone to have a place to belong at AHS?
Yeah, I think so. I actually think we have a pretty diverse list of clubs. We could maybe have more, and I do think we have a lot of sports too, so I think they do a pretty good job.
There are a lot of clubs that have recently come to the school, and different sports. Like they recently got the unified and stuff to make the life skills students feel more involved. I feel like once you like explore around your options, that you can find a place, and it does take time, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to try to like find where you belong.
What do you think has made the biggest improvement on school environment here at AHS?
I think just the teachers like doing things that they're not required to do, you know, that kind of thing, like trying for the students, and I think that makes a big deal.
I feel like, honestly, back to the clubs, like in sports, I feel like if you have a good environment and the people around you are making like smart decisions, and that goes into effect of how your environment around you and how people act around you, which that can play an impact on the younger students and the teachers coming to you.
Hello, Miss Judge. What do you teach here at AHS?
I teach 10th grade English, and I also teach 10th grade cyber.
I teach social sciences.
Public speaking.
Do you think that our core values have made a difference in our school's environment or just like the overall?
Yeah, I absolutely do think that the core values have made a difference. Things like responsibility, trust, communication, safety, all of those are important things that we should embody as a society and not just as a school. It's important that we teach those early so that they're able to use the values out in the real world as well.
I do. I think that as time goes on, people need to be reminded sometimes about proper ways to address each other and treat each other and take other people into consideration when they're making decisions.
I think so. I got here a few years ago, and at the time I felt like the environment was actually good when I arrived, but there was a strong emphasis being placed on our core values at that time, and that's continued to be the case, and I feel like in the time that I've been here, it has improved.
Did you use PBIS? Because I know that sort of ties into the core values and how students display that. And do you think that PBIS worked?
Yeah, I absolutely do think it helped. Being able to give PBIS points for students who follow these core values was something that was important. I've noticed a lot more students being able to work together and show more kindness in order to earn points to go to the events at the end of the year.
Yes, we use PBIS, awarded points when students went above and beyond in behaviors, and I think that it helped students. Everyone likes to be acknowledged when they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Sometimes we forget to say, good job, that's the way to do things, and we only focus on the negative, but I think PBIS allowed us to focus on positive behaviors.
I think it worked. I think it was a positive thing. I think the extent to which it worked probably depends on the individual and how much we put into it, how much we buy into something like that as individuals. And I think the more you put into it, like a lot of things, the more you get out of it.
In general, do you enjoy teaching more now than you did during COVID? How do you think online learning affected the way you taught?
So I actually wasn't teaching when COVID happened. I was still in college, but as a student, I didn't really enjoy having to take online classes. I really like being in person and working and interacting with students. So it's a little harder to kind of portray that. I am teaching cyber this year, so it would kind of be the same deal. It's a little harder to make connections with students and kind of learn about them and how they need to learn. But it is a lot better being in the classroom, I feel.
Yes, that's an easy one. COVID, between the closures and the online learning, you're a student in my class, my technology skills are limited. So, being able to teach face-to-face and students in the building all the time, that's definitely much better for me than COVID, for sure.
COVID, although it was challenging and it was different, there was a lot going on, it didn't take away from my enjoyment of teaching. I still enjoyed it. It was just different. Yeah. And it looked different. There were a lot of different challenges, but I still liked it.
I think the most important thing that I brought out of COVID was that nobody wants to look at a screen all day. Yeah. So whenever there's an opportunity to, do things hands-on and have students interacting with each other directly.
So we had to put everything online, and that's, for me, that's really stayed the same. Mm-hmm. A lot of the things, before COVID, we offered a lot. I offered a lot on paper. A lot of assignments were on paper. And even though I've gone back to that to some extent, I still offer a lot more online. Really, everything is still online. And so I think that's had a huge effect because we had to put everything online. And, just never really went back.
Well, there you have it, folks. Straight from the Hawk's beak. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Brielle. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be back with more of AHS-TV's Best of the Nest.
This is your time to engage, create, follow your passion, show your spirit, go all out, or just kick back. Here in the Oak Grove at the heart of IUP, endless opportunities await. Where do you fit in? Wherever you want. This is your time. This is your place. Get in the Grove at IUP.
And we're back with AHS-TV's Best of the Nest. I'm Carter Lash, and today we're talking with Amelia Bissell and Bethany Rimmel to get a hawk's eye view on our school's climate. Welcome to Best of the Nest. Could you introduce yourselves to the viewers?
My name is Amelia Bissell, and I am AHS's Student Council President.
My name is Bethany Rimmel, and I am Student Council's Vice President.
Thank you guys for joining us today. What does Student Council do to better the school environment?
Our main job is to bring together like the school environment. And so we usually plan like different activities for the school, such as homecoming, but we also like involve the whole like community, such as the trick-or-treat night that we just planned. And we just try to like get other people involved with the school and like as much as they can do.
Yeah, so different events we've had in the past were, what were they? There was Hawkthon, Mr. Riverhawk. There's, what else is there? There's so many. Like, we do Teacher Appreciation Week before to give tribute to our teachers, and I think we're actually recognizing the guidance counselors as well this year.
Do you guys think these events truly make an impact for the school climate?
Most definitely.
Yes, everyone gets so excited for homecoming. There were so many people this year for Trick-or-Treat Night. It was amazing. There were so many people that came out and just helped with not only us, but with the food drive as well, because we worked together with SAAC, which is Student Athlete Advisory Council, to help bring in more food for the Whippeal food drive. And so it was just amazing to see like the community come together to help with that cause.
That's amazing. As president and vice president, what are your guys' main focuses?
I like to make sure everybody's excited to come to school every day. Like, our main goal as student council is to create these events to have students excited to be a part of AHS.
How do you guys make students more part of AHS throughout the school day when there isn't these events going on?
We just try to make them excited. Sometimes, like whenever holidays are coming up, like throughout that week we'll have a spirit week so that people can like get excited for the upcoming holiday. And we just try to like get them involved. We just try to get them excited for different like things coming up in the future.
Like homecoming, we do a spirit week for that.
How have the principal's actions helped student council better the school's environment?
Huge. Like, without them, we couldn't get any support or confirmation or allowance to do the events that we do.
Yeah.
What allowance do you guys get from student council? Or not student council, student government?
So for homecoming, I had to approve our playlist. So different songs were submitted through the tickets, and I composed a list. And then McKenna Poor helped me add some different songs. And then we had to submit it to Mr. Cominos to get that approved.
So just working together with student
Yeah.
government. How has student council grown in the last few years?
Ever since COVID, it kind of like the club kind of dwindled a little bit in the events. So in the past couple of years, we've been trying to like bring those events back and get more involvement with the club again.
But hopefully we'll see more growth.
Do you think COVID truly played a role in limiting students from joining student council?
Yeah, I think that with COVID, it had us like have a divide almost. Like, everybody was at home online, so there weren't many clubs that they could really join because of COVID.
How has student government grown? Does student council have a role in extracurricular activities?
It does. We will set up, like last year, we worked together with the film crew to set up a lip dub, and it was able to like bring like the different sports together, and like it brought recognition to each one of those sports.
Yeah, there's multiple sports on the lip dub that people wouldn't realize are sports at AHS without the lip dub too. So you guys bring light to certain things that a lot of people don't know about within the school. Does student council what does the future of student council look like?
We're hoping to get more involvement and to see STUCO grow and to get more events that everybody can participate in.
We're hoping to maybe plan a color run this year for like an end of the year sort of like fun day, so that we can just like get the students excited. Like, yes, it's the end of the year, but like school is also fun, and like there's just like it's a good environment everywhere.
Do these events take a lot of planning to do? What's the timeline that you guys have to have for like homecoming, planning this color run?
Homecoming, so all of you may know that homecoming was really early this year. I think less than a month, we decided, was when homecoming started from the start of school. So we started planning at the end of last year. Like, we had to get committees set up. There was food, decorations, music, and
so many different ones.
I think that was
yeah,
it.
and we just over the summer we would all work together and like plan this.
Like, school was out, but we were still planning homecoming. We had to get tickets designed, all of those.
So how much out of school work do you guys put into student council?
A lot.
A lot.
Like, I would say STUCO is never done.
No, there's always something going on behind the scenes.
That's great. In student council, what is your guys' favorite part of it? Like, is it helping other people, helping the school environment? What do you guys like about student council?
I would say all of it. I like the planning aspect. I like trying to get students more excited about being here. And I like to help the other kids too.
I love the environment, and I love bringing people together, like getting to work with all these people and getting them excited for like this, like just coming to school.
And finally, what are you guys dressing up for as Halloween this year?
I am dressing up as Orange Blossom from Strawberry Shortcake.
I dressed up as Bambi.
Very good choices. Thank you, Amelia and Bethany, for joining us today and offering your insight. Until next time, I'm Carter Lash of AHS-TV. Keep on soaring.